Ozzy here. It's May. And in Backwood of Ontario, that's the height of bug season, black flies and mosquitoes. And they're biting like crazy. And unless you're equipped like this, they'll eat you alive. But as bad as it is at this time of year, I'd rather be out here enjoying a little scholarship than watching the Awesome Crew show. So why am I doing this intro for them? They're cyberbullying me. They told me if I didn't do this intro for them, they'd make me cunt of the week next week.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Ozzy, for that fabulous, fantastic, and totally uncoerced, uncoerced intro. That was fantastic.
He was by no means under any sort of duress in the making of that intro for us.
We are very glad he did it, and he is too. So welcome to the fourth episode of the second season of the Awesome Crew Show. And much like my penis at 5:30 in the morning, this episode of the Awesome Crew Show will be bigger, longer, and uncut.
Images.
Dougie's joining us today because we're doing a little bit of a Memorial Day special, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So, boys and girls, let's see here. For the people who have managed to ride this wave with us from the beginning, what was that? Oh, it's been almost a year now.
It has.
Summertime.
Almost.
It was it was August when we started.
So we're coming up on a year, and I know Harry Alexander is one of our original viewers. So, for those who have been watching, there was a fourth crew member.
It's Memorial Day weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, so we're going to remember our fallen crew member today.
The fallen crew member today. Now, for those who are watching, this crew member goes by many names. We Are Legend, Eric Hoffman, Lori Lynn, We Are Legion, Deuce is Wild,
Yeah.
Flash, Mob Music, Symphony of Destruction, Dial M for Mwahahaha, Nosferatu Teps, formerly Draco Thempaler, Boy Toy, Mystery Accent, The Terminator, Dawkins Fan, and Angry Jesus. However, he is known by many other names as well. This is just to name a few.
He's got Just Another Zombie.
And Just Another Zombie. Let's see here. Rob, do you know him by any other name?
I don't pay that close attention, honestly.
Brett Keane Fan Club was
Brett Keane Fan Club, yes. So, again, the man known by many, many names.
We'll always know him as Atheism Defended.
Atheism Defended, also
Raoul.
known as Raoul.
Raoul.
Aye.
So this is going to be our tribute for Raoul, the fallen crew member, who frequently watches the show for some reason. What are your experiences with our fallen crew member? Let's start from the humble beginnings.
God,
he sort of brought us together.
He did. I'm actually quite grateful to Raoul because without him, literally without him, none of us would be doing any of this.
Sure.
And having so much fun. We just wouldn't. It's just he turned out to be a massive cunt in the end.
Right.
I met him when I was commenting on one of Captain Osmo 13's videos, referencing a toy that is still over his left shoulder, right over there. And we started talking. We swapped Skype stuff. We chatted a couple of times, and I just kind of got along with him on a very sort of basic level. He seemed very compassionate, and very open and very honest. The problem with Raoul is that he's shockingly loyal, which means he takes what he perceives to be disloyalty very, very seriously. And our first show was a whole show about how atheists not getting along doesn't mean anything. Not agreeing doesn't mean we don't necessarily have to hate each other, rather. And then, oh, the irony.
Yeah.
Because what followed, I think Bob could speak to better than anyone else.
Let's go for it, Bobby.
Well, when I first met the man, it was when he was making the insipid argument that religion is a mental illness. And I was basically spent several videos telling him what a complete fuck up he was and just completely destroying every single argument that he threw up in my direction, which left me completely surprised when I was invited to do the Awesome Crew show. I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna walk in and just have a bunch of people learn a bunch of personal shit about me and then turn around and stab me in the back. What the hell? It's YouTube. Let's do it. So, and you know what? The man, when he wants to be, can be a decent human being. He just doesn't seem to want to be very often. And it was an interesting experience, but in all honesty, he caused us to ask ourselves questions. Like, are people laughing at us or are they laughing with us? Or are people really going to take us seriously? And now that he's no longer with us, we don't get to ask those questions anymore.
That's right.
No, it opened up the whole other line of questions. I met Raul. I started watching some of his videos, and I liked his style, his in-your-face style. But I noticed his overuse of profanity, which is, one sort of tip-off when you're using a sock account. You might want to change how your context there. But I sent him. It started with a simple message. Hey, I love your videos. I love your message. Try bringing it down like 2 or 3 notches, and we started talking from there. I started. He was the first person I've ever talked to via Google Plus and a Hangout, and I love the guy. Holy shit, he was the funny guy. He told me that he was talking with Lenny and Robert, and I said, hey, you know what? Why don't we get together and make our own show? And he actually came up with the name, The Awesome Crew.
That's right.
Yeah, he named the show. So, him and I got thrown into YouTube jail together, to which we made a hilarious drama of the lives that we had sharing a YouTube cell with each other. Like a really funny collaborative thing that I've done. Glute and I did a collab, but this was a lot more involved. And it was fun. And then, here we are doing the show. We had like 3 viewers, 6 viewers or something. And again, this one episode where we were really getting to know each other, and we found out, wow, aside from this one thing in common, we're so different. I'm very. He called me a wish-washy, conservative. He called me, I guess, because I'm pro Second Amendment and just all this nonsense. And Lenny is against it, and Bobby comes from a whole other.
Oh, I'm a borderline socialist.
Yeah, so we have, but yeah, we can still get together and have this awesome show. And then I go on my hiatus. I had a very intensive job that I had to work in the month of October, so the Awesome Crew show did take a break, and my YouTube presence was virtually non-existent. And then once I was done working this job, and I get cozy back in my chair, I realized, holy shit, well, what the fuck happened to the crew? And I'm seeing, Raul getting so upset over us because we did it with one thing, and he started saying that we're throwing him under the bus and all this garbage, and it's amazing because we just came off of this show where we were so different yet we were able to get along, and it kind of sucked.
It did. Well, it's important to have the context here.
All right.
I did it.
Robert fucked it up.
Right, he did.
Bobby made a video where he was criticizing Raul's stance on how big your A has to be if you're going to be an atheist, and if it didn't show some real vitriol towards religious people, then you weren't atheist enough for him, right? You weren't a big enough atheist, which is just such a terrible way. You're cutting so many people out of your life if you think like that. So many great people.
Right.
It's a disappointing way to think, you know what I mean? I don't want everyone to be like me. So that's why he kind of you know, got all head up, and then I think he looked to me and Captain for support, and he didn't get any because we're like, well, no, we actually kind of agree with Bob on this. And then there was this wonderful moment where he was like, okay, the show's over, I'm leaving. And we were like, no, you're just leaving.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a shame, and it bothers me that, I mean, we've had him on a couple times since his passing. Once he came in to try to rip apart Phony B, but he was being kind of a dick about it, so we had to blow him out of the airlock.
Yeah, we showed him the airlock.
Yeah, so for those of you saying, oh, we just boot Christians out of the airlock, no, we booted Raul out of the airlock too.
We put assholes out of the airlock.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to come and be a shouting douche, then we will blow you out of the goddamn airlock. So, so then he came on again shortly, like a couple shows later, and he was fine. And, you know, we were able to sit and talk with him. He actually thanked us for letting him be on the show and talk and whatnot. So then comes season 2, and here's where all the sock accounts come in. He was talking to Brett Keane. Clearly, he has a vendetta, so we've been getting sock. And for the people with the sock accounts out there, I'm sorry that the ratings are disabled. You just need to find something better to do.
My last video got socked pretty hard.
I know, guys. Oh, no. So, you guys, you know, if you want to help the world, pick up a ladle, okay? Go to a soup kitchen and do something productive.
Right.
Don't log into numerous accounts, up to 60 accounts, to try to flag down a video. Oh, and that's another thing, too. With every show, we get our threats of, oh, I'm going to watch every minute of this and flag it. And it's like, well, if it bothers you, don't watch it. I don't watch the Bible Thumping Wingnut show because it's just a pile of crap.
I literally never watched G-Man. I never watched
G-Man. I will watch the spliced clips of the funny moments, but I can't watch more than a few minutes of it. And why? Because he's a ranting idiot. I don't need to watch that stuff, so if you don't like the show, don't watch it. But again, every single week we're threatened with, oh, I'm going to flag you guys, and it's like, oh no, oh. So,
it was disappointing to see him behave it that way.
I know.
And he still does it. Like, I promise you he's watching right now.
Or he will. And
or he will watch it, and he'll make some derogatory comment, and he'll be a dick, and it's just like, Raul, go find something to do.
I know. I mean, I have no problem with the guy, really. It's just he lashed out so hard about us speaking, and like, not even against. We just didn't agree with him.
Yeah. I didn't make any videos saying Raul's a prick and I don't agree with him. He was my friend and he was my crew member, so it was just like, you know what? I'm not going to agree with him. If you ask me about it, I'll tell him. That's it. And you know, he sent me a message saying, "Have you seen this awful video that Bob made on Facebook? I'm quitting the show, starting my own show. Are you coming with me?" And I'm like, well, I'm still going to do the Awesome Crew show. I kind of agree with what Bob said. If you want to do another show with me, then I'd be very happy to do that. And he was like, "You're just like, oh, so you're just like him then?" And I'm like, "Well, just like what? I don't get it. You mean normal? I guess."
So yeah, I feel bad because we started off really strong. I thought we had some sort of a bond, especially after that whole debacle that I had. Him and I shared a fucking YouTube cell together.
Yeah. I mean, our first video got flagged down. Our first Awesome Crew show got flagged down.
I know it did. So
because Captain Awesome was showed an arse.
Yeah.
Well, it was for medical reasons, okay?
Yeah. This is what my psoriasis looks like.
Yeah. So I mean, it's sad. It's a really bad, dark day.
I would love to find out if those original two episodes with, because I only did 2 episodes with this originally.
I thought it was 3.
It could be 3. I'd love to find them again.
And just watch the humble beginnings.
And just watch the humble beginnings, yeah. That would be fantastic.
Right. So, I mean, Raul...
I'm pretty sure I still had the chops back then.
Yeah.
Raul.
Yeah. So,
he has done...
To the anchor that kept us in the YouTube shallows, he has been cut loose, and we are now adrift into stranger, more wonderful waters.
That's right. Yeah. We couldn't be happier. He quit. Remember, we didn't kick him off. We didn't say,
No.
that's it, you have to go. He said, I quit. And we're like, he's like, specifically, I quit and I'm taking the show with me. And we were like, okay, bye.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, the show was my idea. I said,
It
hey,
was.
why don't we make a show? He named it, the Awesome Crew Show. Again, trademark Raul.
Yeah, he named the show.
He did. I didn't even like the name of the show. We just couldn't think of anything else better. That's the truth. So,
whoever decided to invite me, thanks. It has been entertaining.
Good.
you know what? Again, it was Raul. Raul was talking to the three of us separately, and I remember saying, it's like, oh, I think Lenny was the one that was always up at the weird hours that I could never get a hold of. Like, he would sit there and say, oh, I talked to Lenatar, I was like, dude, I want to talk to this guy. And then I remember the first time I talked to Lenny, I'm like, oh, what's the big deal?
Yeah, this guy's a cunt. Can't fucking...
It's disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah. Never meet your heroes, folks.
Never meet your heroes. So, who wants to get the last? I think we've touched enough on Raul, and I'm sure he's still going to try to leave snarky comments and, with his sock accounts. And sadly, he was in communication with Brett Keane, which makes me sad. Brett Keane sought out Raul, because that's what Brett Keane does, and Brett Keane, being Brett Keane, he polluted the waters. So it's sad to see the influence of Brett Keane on people like Raul, who, again, he's turned to the dark side. The man that we once knew as Raul, Atheism Defended, has perished.
That's right.
He was betrayed and murdered by the dark side.
Yeah, and it's, yeah. And they started sending us threats saying, stop talking about me or else. And we were like, okay.
Now he needs a new channel calling himself Darth Geezer.
Yeah. I mean, to hear, and I know it was him, when we started, before we went live with Season 2, he sent, under one of his aliases, you guys are going to be sorry, you guys had better just watch it, you guys are going to pay, all those veiled just threats when...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Don't care.
We really don't care. So, with that said, Lenny, do you want to get the last word in on this, and then we're going to move on to our Memorial Day?
The Memorial Day special, yeah. I would actually love to have, if there was a way to get Raul in here to talk to us again and have like a nice sort of pleasant remembrance moment of the good old days when he wasn't a complete dick. Then I would love to get him in here and do that. Just let us know in the comment section which sock we have to send the invite to.
Yeah.
And it would actually be rather cool to speak to him again. So there you go.
There we go.
If you're alive, Raul, rumor is you've died.
Yeah, he's about as dead as Jason Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Memorial Day. Did you guys have fun on Memorial Day? I had fun on Memorial Day. I saw X-Men, Godzilla, both fantastic movies. Had a beer, enjoyed. Apparently, I'm the alcoholic of the group, I guess. I don't know. The Thick Shades and friends are saying that I'm an alcoholic. I'm drinking coffee.
You don't know what's in that cup.
I only have 2 cocktails on Friday, and if you watch a video, I even show you how I make them, so you can judge yourself.
Cool. So we thought, hey, what would be nice is if we had an actual GI, a veteran here on the show to, tell us how it is, speak about their experience. I couldn't think of anyone else better than our one and only Dougie. I call you Dougie because I like Dougie.
Sweet Doug.
Sweet Doug. Oh, which, by the way, hold on, just to throw it out there. Dougie and the rest of the crew, we had a disagreement a couple weeks back. Look at us now.
Yeah. We figured it out.
Wow, look at that. So, Dougie, thank you.
Look what we're doing. Not hating each other.
I know, right? So, Dougie, sorry about yesterday. Yesterday was completely my fault. Lots of issues. I had to stay late for work because
all cool. Shit happens.
Oh, yeah, shit happens. So, anyways, Dougie, if you don't mind, the floor is yours. Tell us about your war. I'm sure you have some war stories. What were you? What branch you were in? What did you do? All that great stuff. Did you see combat? The floor is yours, Dougie.
All right. Let's start off. Basically, I was a 68 whiskey. I think that's the current classification. For those in my time, it was 91 whiskey, which is a combat medic, which was the combination of the Alpha and the Bravo. The Alpha was I believe the field, and the Bravo was the more clinic one. And they combined them two because it was just more efficient. So that's what I was. I was able to do field work and clinical work. And then with the basic training was just silly mind games and fun physical exercises for failing at a task of, let's say, being what they thought you should have been for your discipline. So if you ever hear me say, if my mind is failing and my body must pay, I'm going to say I'm going to actually do some push-ups.
All right.
Because I used to drop myself before the drill sergeants would drop me just to fuck with them. I tell myself, I'll be in formation, be like half right face, front wing rest position, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
See, that's the one thing people don't know.
Telling the drill sergeant, why aren't you counting?
That's the one thing people don't know about, especially about basic training and military experience. You're not supposed to pass. You're going to fail. It's set up so that you fail. It's designed to make you fuck it up. You can't do it.
You can't win.
Living generations gone through basic training. That shit don't change. So I already knew. So I was playing the game along with them. I got my platoon, not just my platoon, but the whole company. When we started fuck up, we all dropped if we were in a company formation.
Yeah. I mean, I almost joined the Marine Corps, and I was actually in a program that it teaches youth basic training minus the combat, minus the weapons. It was everything but the weapons. And then if you were to reach sergeant in this program, then you would start off the actual Marine Corps as a PFC. The drill sergeants, I spoke to them. They said, you know what? Exactly that. We want you guys to fail because if you fail, that's what brings the group together, is having to suffer together. And he said, if you guys are cleaning something out, they will say, okay, you guys need a vacuum. If there's anything on the floor, for every item we find on the floor, that's X amount of push-ups. And they said flat out, yeah, we will put blades of grass on the floor, just to sabotage you guys, because that's what builds that camaraderie. Not the victory, but you need to lose first before you can really enjoy the victory. If that makes any sense. So yeah. So Doug, you were a combat medic. So how many tours did you do? I mean, tell us about that. Did you see combat?
Well, I'll tell you about Korea first because I don't got any good training stories, like funny ones.
I'm sure it wasn't like Full Metal Jacket or anything like that. So,
no. But like Korea, I went to Korea for a year, and that was an overseas tour. It was quite entertaining as far as like learning about the culture. I love going out and being able to go up to the DMZ, visit various Korean castles, Korean war sites because I had family members in there.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, so it was a real big honor, and I was a big fan of MASH, and I was stationed right outside of Uijeonbu, and MASH was too, and I was a medic. So it was kind of cool. I got to, do a whole bunch of things. While I was there, I was got trained on Dohirs. That's a military audiology shit. So I was running it, like the booth, and like sending people off to the audiologist if there's a big enough shift in their hearing to qualify for hearing loss. Which on my camp was a big deal because it was an aviation/field artillery, and it was more on the aviation side where it was the issue with the pilots. They had to have good hearing. All right. And I also did, while running that booth, helped out in the immunization clinic. So double tasking. So I was extra worked hard. I enjoyed it though because it was helping out my fellow soldiers, which is what my job was. So work me. And that was fine. But it also gave me my first experience with a real-world, non-trauma, but medical. I had to deal with a heart attack. And the way I performed was actually pretty good for us, like dealing with a first heart attack when we are more specifically trained on trauma. we do get some, but they focus more heavy on the trauma because when you're dealing with soldiers, mainly, it's going to be trauma versus like a heart attack.
So,
So
did they keep you behind enemy lines, or did you ever go on the field as a field medic?
on deployment, I was a prison detention medic. I worked in the geriatric compound first for like about 3-4 months, then switched over to the like a general average, nothing special compound. Then I switched over to compound that was I guess you would call it the high risk, high dollar targets. And by high risk, I mean violent inmates, whether they were violent on the outside or became violent inside, start a lot of fights, and they have to be put in segregated areas.
Were these inmates? Were these GIs that had been?
Negative. These were. It was a detention facility for the Iraqis.
Oh boy.
Or
Like Abu Ghraib?
Like Abu Ghraib, but different. We were in Camp Buka. Abu Ghraib became Camp Cropper, which was more or less the processing center and initial hold. So, like, whenever people got sent into the detention program, they were sent to Abu Ghraib for process to get a trial date. Then they got sent to us. We were the largest detention center. There was 3. One was up at Camp Supi, one was Abu Ghraib, and one was Camp Buka. Camp Buka was in southern Iraq. We got shelled at. Thank God. Yes, I'm an atheist, and I'm still thanking God on this one.
You know, you can think.
Never had a shell hit us or a RPG hit our base. Now, we had a buddy get shot in the neck on a patrol, and that was about the worst thing that happened there besides a self-inflicted homicide soldier on soldier.
Did the gentleman that got shot in the neck, did he survive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got a free trip out of Iraq. It was by the command decision on that. It wasn't bad enough for him to. I mean, he could literally healed up, had like a month off after the shot or 2, and could have been going back out on patrol. But they said, this is better not to send you back in. You got shot in the neck. That's too fucking close, dude.
Yeah.
You're going home. Or
So-
back stateside.
So have you ever seen combat?
After having died long from Germany.
So have you ever seen combat at all?
Actual firefight? No.
No.
But, when you hear the booms and you're like, first scared, then it goes like, whatever. I mean, I live in the ghetto. When I hear real close gunshots, I still get scared. But when I hear them in the distance, nah. But some of my friends, when they come here and they don't live in the ghetto or never been in the ghetto before, and they hear like this gunshots in the city-type environment, they get a little scared.
Yeah.
I know how that goes.
I do. So I can find it funny myself. It's like, you get used to a certain level of like what people would consider scary environment.
Yeah.
I know that's like the hilltop in Tacoma's like that. We used to sit and actually try to identify the firearm by the sound. That sounded like a 9mm,
Or like that could have been, something like that sounded like a 22. No, that was something bigger, but it was further away. So that's why it sounded like a 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've discussed that with my friends.
So how long were you in the military? How long did you serve?
I was in there for 4 wonderful years.
4 wonderful years.
That's a very subjective term.
So
there was good and bad, but I like to focus on the positive it taught me, because even from the negative aspect, like the mental health issues that I have from dealing with what I've actually dealt with.
So how has been your treatment since you've been circulated back into normal society, non-military society?
It's helped. The treatment I've gotten from the VA, it's helped. Put this way, if you talk to me, God, I don't know how many years ago it was, because I try not to actually think about it. I was in a really bad funk where I didn't even speak to my own family members that I lived with. I mean, they would say hi, and I would say hi back, and that was it. Or if they tell me something, I'll be like, all right, I'll take care of it. And that was it. And that'd be the conversation I would have for them, between me and them, between 4 days. I was in a real dark hole. and I pulled myself kind of out of it. But VA, once I got halfway out of there or whatever, like the real deep funk where I wouldn't talk, the VA helped.
Yeah.
It could have been better. The doctors could have been better. I had to fight tooth and nail. And it got to the point where I was tired of dealing with them, to the point where I don't want to deal with them on the psychology department. Because I had to fight too hard for myself. Too many different times in that, different areas in it.
I'd like to ask Doug a question if I could.
Go for it, Lenny.
There's this big thing in American culture, and it's something that I only feel like, an outsider could really notice and find a curiosity, which is that there's this big thing just in society itself, is that you have to support the troops. Support the troops, support the troops, support the troops. And my perspective on that has been, well, I guess that depends very much on what they're doing. I can't bring myself to. It's almost like you're pressured in American society to support the troops and what they're doing because they're out there putting their lives on the line trying to achieve an objective. Well, if I don't agree with the objective, then I kind of don't care.
Can I try to offer a different way to look at that statement?
Go for it, Dougie.
Yeah, that's
agreeable.
Please do, Dougie.
This is why you should support your troops. It's not that we choose what we fight for. You need to support us because when we come back, we're not always normal.
Sure.
May have made a bad choice going into a stupid war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we need all the help we can get.
Well, I would say that
And sometimes for people, they have a lot different experience with the VA where they, when they were trying to get help, they didn't even feel like they got help at all.
I would say that a soldier's duty is to defend the country and not ask questions. Does that make sense? Like, you're given orders, you're not allowed to question those orders.
Yeah, like that basic principle, we do not question.
Yeah, so
When it comes down to like ethics in the war, is this like the right thing, like shooting up a mosque?
yeah, no.
That's a different story. We can, if we're ordered to shoot up a mosque, we can rightfully question that unless we're receiving fire directly from it.
Yeah.
That's actually acceptable for as far as like war ethics. And yes, there is ethics in war when you actually follow the rules of war. Just
Right.
like, there's medical ethics, but it doesn't really mean squat if people don't follow them.
So, I mean, go ahead, Lenny.
No, that's. I actually like that a little bit more. I do support what people have been through.
But it's just something for give you some food for thought to think about. Because I mean, you've done things that might not have been the best for you and got caught yourself up in something stupid before, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, just the context of what you're saying and the context of
What we do has a lot more ramification on how we are afterwards. And like me, I find our way we justified the war was completely wrong. I mean, if we were going to justify on the genocide aspect of Saddam, we should have done it sooner.
Oh yeah, well, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I supported the war in Iraq, and especially the deposing of Saddam Hussein. The only thing that was wrong with that, I think, was that it should have happened a damn fucking sight sooner.
Yeah.
Right.
That man was in power for far too long.
I mean, I don't think you disagreed with that. I was thinking more like how we went about. Oh yeah, and let's figure out a way to go to war with these fuckers. And let's just slap on this terrorism stuff and weapon mass destruction for some fear factor. I mean, be honest about the reason why you're going to war with them. Just say Saddam's a crazy fucker. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in this world. Let's take care of one problem right now.
Well, if there's one thing, I mean, first of all, I just want to point out that I support the troops insofar as when they return, insofar as, like, they've probably been through some relatively horrific things, and they need our support because they're still American citizens and they're still human beings, and they deserve it. They deserve our help because they're people who need it, and that's all I need to know. I've often disagreed with the idea that I'm just by default supposed to support what the troops are fighting for.
No, you're not to do that. Do never do that.
Yeah, I see. I've never taken it as that. I've never taken it as supporting the troops as supporting what they're doing. It's supporting the individuals who, sign their lives away to defend a country whose you know, orders might be contrary to their moral beliefs or, you know, stance on things. I mean, they still have to go and execute those orders. Those people need support.
Insofar as though what, like, you know, the terrorism thing and the global war on terror, which is the buzzword, it's amazing how effective the 9/11 attack was, and I talked to some Americans about this, and it's as if they've missed the point of that attack entirely. If you ask the average American on the street, and especially where I live, it's bloody Central Florida, some Yahoo off the street has told me stuff like, oh, they destroyed the towers because of extreme anti-Americanism and they hate freedom, and it wasn't. The point of the war. 1 second now, and then Bob will dive in. The point of the war, the point of that attack on 9/11 was to make Americans scared. It was to make you afraid. The point of it was to show the American people, we can get to you if we really want to. That was the point, and I tell you what, it fucking worked in spades.
If you can make a god bleed, it's 300 style. If you can make a god bleed,
absolutely. The effectiveness of that attack cannot be understated. I've never seen America and Americans be so fearful since then. It's amazing how profoundly successful that attack was.
Go ahead, Bob.
Go ahead, Bob. Please.
All right. Well, if you're going to talk about 9/11, there was a 1996 interview with a guy from BBC with Osama bin Laden, where he expressly stated his intent was to draw America into a land war in Afghanistan. And the Khobar Towers, the Cole bombing, everything leading up to 9/11 was an attempt to do that. And 9/11 was their home run shot. They got, because he thought if we could draw us into a land war in Afghanistan, they could beat us there like they beat the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Completely ignoring the fact that the only reason they beat the Soviet Union is because we helped them. But the fact of the matter is that was the stated intent as of 1996. And that's why 9/11 happened.
That's more information than I had a minute ago. Thanks, Bob. As usual, he just flat out knows more than I do. Doug, any commentary on that, please?
Actually, what you were hitting on, yeah, this was a pre-planned attack to slap us in the face, to make us scared, to show us that even though we're the big, bad fucking country in the world when it comes to the military, you still can get hit in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And they wanted to because I don't know how U.S. is connected to Osama bin Laden while Osama bin Laden was fighting alongside of us. That's what I'll say in the with the Mujahideen, because the Mujahideen didn't even want bin Laden there because they didn't want outsiders. They wanted to be a Afghan fighting, not bring in foreign nations beyond the special forces that was there to help train them and fight alongside with them. They were fine with that because they saw the U.S. coming in there to help them to be a strong country at that time, at least the Northern Alliance did. But Osama bin Laden came in and somehow, I think through Pakistan funding and Pakistan jumping in, helping, and us funding Pakistan at that time probably, you know, was the connection on the money trail. And once Russia was out, we stopped sending them money, really, because our issue was dealt with. And so bin Laden's source of income was probably dried up. So it was also part PR move to fuck with us, too, to get more support. Say, look what I did to U.S. Look, I'm one-upping myself. I'm one-upping myself. It's getting worse for them. And look how much terrorism more or less has grown since we started the war. It was, if you ask me, the whole thing, Osama bin Laden was trolling the United States.
This is the biggest and most violent effort at trolling in the history of the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's certainly one way of putting it, yeah.
I mean, to put it on just like what he was doing to us, how he was playing with us, with psychologically, like suckering our government in the stupid-ass war hawks in power into this fight.
Well, keep in mind, the Warhawks weren't stupid-ass. They made a tremendous profit.
Oh, well, profitable for them, but stupid for the country. That's what I mean. When I speak like that, I'm speaking for the people, not the few.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I would just want to make sure you're clear on that, Rob. I have no issue with what you're stating because I believe, this whole thing was a sucker job, and that's kind of the reason why I didn't want us to do anything about it because I was like, going to war over exactly what they want. Why are you giving them what they want? Unless you really want a war. But if you look at the tradition of the war hawks, their philosophies start up a war about every 10, 20 so years, keep the troops trained, and so you can have combat veteran soldiers training these new recruits. So you have combat experienced soldiers that these young kids will look up to as war heroes, sort of, or war veterans that they've been through shit. They'll know their shit, and so they trust in the training more.
Well, not only that, every bullet, every uniform, every tank, it's all being paid for in full.
There's a huge amount of industry. There's a huge amount of industry that comes from combat, that comes from war. If you take a look at the Second World War, the money that America made after that war ended, because they were allowed to seize, England, America, and Russia were allowed to seize and basically just divvy up all the German patents, all the Nazi patents that were floating around at the time. It boosted the automobile industry, jet engines. This is all stuff they were working on, and I don't mind saying this live on air. There was a bunch of Nazi scientists that just disappeared. Don't know what happened to them.
Von Braun ran NASA.
I saw Captain America. I know what happened.
Yeah, they just fucking vanished. Who can say where they went?
Here, let's bring this back on a.
For Great Britain.
Here, let's bring this back on a lighter note. So, Dougie, what is your most memorable moment, whether it be good or bad? Let's do your memorable moment when you served your 4 years.
Okay, this will be a good way to lighten things up. My motor pool was about a quarter mile from my barracks. Round trip, 8th mile there, and 8th back.
Yeah.
I was drunk. This is this is the night that I earned the nickname Snarf, and thus became my call sign, overriding every other call sign my unit given to me because everyone refused to call me any other call sign, even after being disciplined by the command, and by the command, I mean the first sergeant. So, I got drunk, they said, who's your favorite cartoon character? I said Snarf. Why? Unsung hero. He's the one who frees Lionel when he's trapped so Lionel can kick ass.
Okay.
Like, all right, chug this fucking vodka, get on Snarf's level. So I chug a fucking bottle of vodka. I chug about, this much of a bottle. Straight to the head, and later on the night I was drunk enough to decide to accept the dare to run butt naked to the motor pool and back. I decided to do it, not only do that, but do it without shoes, knowing I had run over gravel.
All right.
Running butt naked to the motor pool and back, touched the motor pool fence, ran back, and everyone died laughing because no one thought. And it was just like a funny thing because you had about a congregation of 15 people outside of barracks at 2 a.m. in the morning. Thank God where our barracks set up, it was not on like a main street where the MPs would have noticed easily.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have had a really interesting time when my command came and brought me some clothes at least.
So your nickname is Snarf. That's your nickname, Snarf? Oh man, that is the worst thing to broadcast live on YouTube. You're no longer Dougie. You are.
Yeah,
I'm calling you. You're Snarf from now on. Snarf.
Hey, that's why I had my account as Snarf. I was,
Oh, all right. That makes sense now.
And that's when I started like naming a whole bunch of different things with Snarf, as far as like user stuff. Like.
All right, that's a terrible character to choose for anything. Is Snarf.
Yeah.
Snarf.
I have to say,
that's why I really was more or less the guy that, the awkward, unnecessarily, maybe does everything right, but comes through at the end to help in the actual cause. I never felt like I did anything really huge. I did something big for me while I was there, something that I thought I couldn't do, so it's a monumental personal thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's not really that big of a thing because it had no real huge impact. And that's why a lot of times, I even laugh at the VA because the doctors don't call us heroes, because we don't feel like we're heroes.
Right.
On the VA, advertisement, and on their buses and stuff, you'll see healthcare for heroes. And it's just like, so hilarious. What was that?
All right. Well, let's see if we can throw in our last questions if anyone has it, and then Dougie, we'd like to thank you for coming on and speaking about your experience. It's been awesome.
It has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
No problem. Talking about it, it's been a good talk. I mean, my serious, but also had some. And yes, that story to counteract all this negative.
No, it's definitely a good thing, and you're always welcome on the show, Dougie. Oh, I'm sorry, Snarf.
Hey, call me whatever. You can call me a cunt. It won't really matter, but just don't call me a racist asshole.
I don't know why. I don't know why that would even cross my mind to call you that.
Honestly, the whole time I've been sitting here, I'm thinking, fuck, you would cosplay a wonderful Victor Zsasz from Batman. The entire time.
I play a great racist. I got the perfect haircut for it. I just have to trim it up a little bit.
And I give you 10 points, 10 awesome points for knowing the reference. And for those of you who are watching and don't know the reference, Google it, Victor Zsasz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bob's just like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's cool. On with the show, because we have things we need to cover on here.
Thank you, Dougie. You can stick around or you can dip out if you want. It's up to you. We're going to open it up soon in a little bit. Bobby has his moment to tell us why marijuana is awesome.
It's a marijuana minute.
Oh, the marijuana minute. Okay,
the marijuana
folks.
minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's often said when we talk about legalization that if we legalize marijuana, it's going to put the cartels in Mexico out of business, and that's beginning to happen. From the Seattle Post, according to the Washington Post, that drying up is exactly what's happening. The price of export pot marijuana has dropped by a whopping 75%, from about $100 to about $25 per kilo. The farmers are starting to go, it's not even worth bothering to plant pot anymore. Unfortunately, what is happening is since the price of corn and other stuff hasn't gotten any better, they are starting to plant more opium poppies because thanks to our pharmaceutical companies getting people hooked on pills, people are starting to turn to heroin when they can no longer get their prescription pills. So yes, marijuana legalization is destroying the pot angle of the cartel market. It is, however, providing cheaper, more plentiful heroin because prohibition still doesn't work. Back to you.
That's it. That's the marijuana minute.
That is the marijuana. All right, so Lenny, it is time because I'm trying to get my awesome members ready to go here. So I'm going to click on you, buddy. You have the screen while I get my awesome people lined up. The cunt of the week. This is what everyone tunes in for.
This is what everyone. This is what the people want to see. The coveted cunt of the week. It's becoming somewhat of an award right now. This week, the cunt of the week is not this person. This person.
I love cake.
She does.
It shows. Fuck me. Look at those. Look at that.
No, we're not doing that. We're not going to be that kind of show. We're not going to do the kind of show where we just assault people's looks. We're not going to talk at all about that.
I'm sorry. How does she keep her hat on her head? I mean, that's impractical.
It's perched on the point.
From the.
Oh man, honestly,
that's what I'm saying from now on. Perched on the point.
That's what she said. Honestly, a very disgusting human being, if there ever was one to ever grace this green earth. Holy
carry on, Lenny.
But let's unpack why she's a disgusting human being.
Is it
because she looks like a walking pile of laundry? No. Is it because she looks like a pit bull on its hind legs? No, not at all. Those aren't reasons why she's awful. The reason why she's awful is because she's such a cunt. When I first experienced, and let's be honest, it's nothing short of an experience dealing with this woman. Yeah, when I first experienced Shani, she was a howling banshee of just hate, nastiness, awfulness. But it's wonderful to see that she can also afford to be a little bit ironic, while simultaneously condemning people to hell, saying awful things about homosexuals, naming some people and saying how awful they are. She can then turn around and say, "You guys cyberbully me because of my looks and because of me."
No, it's because you're a disgusting human being.
It's because you're fucking terrible and you're awful. Look, I guess if I were to offer some advice to this individual, it would be chill the fuck out and just remember that you're here to preach the gospel, and and you catch more flies with honey than you do with cunt. Now, recently, well, it depends on the cunt, I suppose. Recently, she's made some. It's like she doesn't get how words have meaning, and when you make a post saying X person has assaulted my children, has attacked my 5 and 7-year-old son, when they don't even live on the same continent, those words have meaning, and not everyone can understand the context of what it is that you're saying. So I guess just think about what you say before you say it, and if you want to be having an honest and meaningful discussion, chill the fuck out, stop being such a cunt, and maybe, just maybe, ease up on the cake. Shani, you're the cunt of the week, and I love you for it.
And the only thing that disturbs me about everything you just said is that she has been naked with another human being.
Yeah, someone has climbed that mountain.
Oh, man, I bet they needed a team of fucking Sherpas and alpacas to reach the highest point of that beast. Damn. I bet there's prayer flags on top of that mountain. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying any of this. I'm not being too contentious today.
No, I will be that person. Honestly, I bet there's prayer flags strung up somewhere. Like, you need oxygen tanks to get up that shit. I will be the douche. I will be the one to say it. I bet spreading open those legs, it's like the fucking Sarlacc pit down there with tentacles and just... I bet Boba Fett is between those legs somewhere.
Don't.
Just saying. That's disgusting. But...
Only on the Awesome Crew show will we look at a human being and say, "Oh my God, that's disgusting." Whatever, she's fucking awful. She's a bitch. Whatever.
You know what it is? When you're awful on the inside, it starts to show how awful you are on the outside.
It comes down very simply to you have to choose. You can't be a cunt and be fucking hideous, right? It doesn't work. You have to decide which one you're going to be. Because she needs to make her mind up.
Yeah, I mean, you made it. You said it perfectly, Lenny. So, anyways, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's get on the lighter side of news.
Positive. It's a positive show.
The awesome members of the week. I just pulled this one out of my ass, but you know what? And I will say, for the awesome atheist this week, we've never had him on the show, though I would love to have him on the show at some point. He recently proposed, I'm going for a challenge thing today, so there's a bit of a challenge proposed to Bible Thumping Wingnut, which I'm interested to hear Bible Thumping Wingnut's proposal, or rebuttal, answer, whatever you want to call it. Bible Thumping Wingnut loves to jump on the morality bandwagon. He loves to bring in children. Bible Thumping Wingnut has a thing with bringing up children in any sort of argument, and this individual said, you know what, this is why society deems marrying children at this age is wrong, because we can have evidence to show from very intensive studies as to why this is bad, how it can emotionally damage a child. Now, Bible Thumping Wingnut, if you're telling me this is bad, like absolutely, is there a case where that you could tell me where it would be okay for a 40-something-year-old person to marry a 12-year-old? With that said, my awesome atheist of the week is the Way of the Pasta.
The Way of the Pasta.
The Way of the Pasta.
Bravo, sir.
Of the Pasta, and here is his link, posting that right now. And for the theist, now this theist, we've had rare encounters with him. He's as elusive as Bigfoot. When he's here, he quickly leaves. But I love his style, his passive-aggressive nature. He recently posted a challenge to Fiona. who is a previous winner of the Awesome Theist of the Week, because, Fiona is a theist. He challenged Fiona to not bring in pseudoscience when it comes to this scholarly academic debate. He said that she is only allowed to use strict sources that are not biased towards creationism. He's a lovable son of a bitch who is good with the green screen. Lasoyo, I fucking love you. You're the Awesome Theist of the Week.
Lasoyo, yeah.
And you know what?
The only person to actually call me into a private or a public hangout to call me out on my bullshit.
And he's a great fucking guy. I love Lasoyo, and he
did it with love.
He does it with love. Like, he will, as he's bending you over, he will give you the tuggy. He is that kind of guy.
Hot buttered lover.
Yeah. So let's go on to our winners. Now, we've had 2 winners so far: CV Black and X Not Ash. X Ash.
Yeah. XX Ashes. Ash Not Ashes XX.
All right. So you sons of bitches, contact us so you can win your fucking prizes. All right. It's getting kind of old, and our liaison, who's in charge of taking care of the prizes, making sure they go to the right places, she's starting to breathe down my neck a little bit. So guys, if you want your buttons for winning, fucking get a hold of us, damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
With that said, last week's challenge was to fill in the blank. The blank of the blank is the beginning of blank. Taking on the presuppositional argument, let's have some fun with it. All of us are in pretty much mutual agreement here on this one. Let's see here. Lenny, would you like to, or let's hear from Bobby. Bobby, would you like to read our winner? I have yet to see him comment on the... he's yet to comment on the show. Normally he's always one of the few people who's always there on a heartbeat. Bobby.
He's probably busy, but the winner this week is Harry Alexander. From the week ago when he left, the resurrection of Jesus Christ is the beginning of Jason Byrne's erection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well done, Harry.
Good job, Harry. You have won yourself a Sight to an Atheist button. Have your people contact our people, and we will make sure we get you that button that you deserve. Absolutely. That is going in the comments section. Now,
we can send to post office boxes if you don't want to reveal a street address.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to come after you. We're not going to show up with a GoPro and harass you and assault you, mate. We're not going to come and assault you as you're trying to street preach or nothing.
No.
I am both too poor and too apathetic.
Yeah, we simply don't care.
Or the fucks to give.
In the mankini.
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah. Lenny will show up in a mankini and hand deliver the buttons. He'll leave that for when he reaches 1,000 subscribers. So, this week's challenge, this should be a fun one. We all know G-Man, our lovable, bulgy-eyed, ranting, he went down to his local craft store, bought some puffy paint and some blank hats, and decided to scribble like a toddler on these hats to make himself look cool, yo. You combine that with his Will Smith from the 90s shirt, and you have yourself a walking cliche. The challenge this week is, what should G-Man's hat say? You get to choose the best... what G-Man's hat should say. You fill in the blank. What is?
Keep it at 3 words.
Yeah, keep it at 3 words. Or let's go 4. 4 seems better.
Sure, 4.
All right, we'll go 4 words. Fill in the blank. Best 4 words that should be on G-Man's hat. That is the challenge this week. I will write that up, and again, make sure you reply to the comment that I'm going to be writing. Don't make me sift through all the comments, because I hate doing that. So, best 4.
That's right. Think
All
carefully.
right.
And please reply to the comment, because we're not going through all of them. Thanks.
Yeah. So best 4 words that belong on G-Man's hat. Whoever is the best, funniest, please fucking bring... What the fuck just came in here? What the fuck is that?
It's a Mario.
Ah, God, I have such a weird boner right now to that. Oh, look at this. What the fuck? That's way too jolly and happy.
Look at that.
Ah, damn. It's waving something and it's... Oh, fuck.
She's got a stick of celery.
Yeah.
It's a leak.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks like a leak.
Fuck you and your fruits.
So, anyways,
Vegetable.
I will blow you out of the goddamn airlock. So,
yeah, don't correct me on my show, bro.
I know, bro. So with that said, it looks like we are open mic now, so feel free to chime in. A little bit of an open mic. We're going to go for another 10 minutes or so. I really need a poop, and I want to go back to playing my games. And then Lenny, I'm sure, will take over the channel for the Naked After Show.
That's right.
Shirts optional. Which, you know what, we've been criticized by Mr. Richard Raspberry of us flipping out our penises and getting naked on our show. Yeah, there you go.
Out of that, Dougie. Get that shit, son.
Yeah, Dougie, you are up in here. Let's see it. Let's see it. Snarf, snarf. Let's see it. Come on.
Don't make it weird.
Oh man, it's weird. God, he's got like 2 nipples. What is that? That's bizarre.
Oh dear. So yeah, the join link is in the comment section, and it's on the various Facebook pages. And feel free to come join us and riff with us. We're here to have fun. That's
We
what
are
the
here to
Ultimate
have
Show's
fun.
all about. So,
And you know what? I'm just gonna. This might be too late in the game, but I'm just gonna send an invite out to somebody. Let's see if he comes in. Richard.
I don't have that. I tell you what. I'll be honest with you. I haven't got him in me today.
No.
I don't have him in me today.
I'm sure he'll be glad to know that.
He's not. Richard, if you were wondering, you're not in me today.
Oh man.
All right, some of our old favorites have joined us, shuffling right past that one. It's 13 Heathens of Maria D. Shake your booty, Lafayette, and Dougie's sticking it out with us. How's everyone doing today? What's going on, Shake? How you doing, baby? You are muted, sir. You're going to need to unmute.
What's up, homies?
Oh,
Hey, it's Lev.
I'm sure you didn't do that to me on purpose because I'm Jewish.
Yeah, I'm a massive anti-Semite.
Oh man, for that.
I'd appreciate if you'd call me Mr. Shake Your Booty because I deserve the respect.
For that.
Because you're Jewish.
Can I blow him out of the goddamn airlock just for that?
No, you can't. No, you just got.
You won't get back in if you blow him out.
People.
Did you say you're gonna blow? You know, between me and Redline, I don't know who's gonna be the most tired after this.
You know what? If you put it in my face, I'm gonna suck it. That's kind of the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a natural reaction.
Yeah, that's normal. And we've got.
I'd like to deliver.
Oh. All I heard was challenge accepted. That's all I heard. That's all I heard.
So how
If you can reach from there to here.
are you lovely cunts doing today?
I really need to
Cunting it up
poop.
big style here. We're cunting it up big style. Go poop then.
I'm actually pooping right now.
Oh, that's amazing. Like I really want to take a page out of Alex Botton's like repertoire and just have myself from the torso up just talking while I'm pooping.
I mean, that's why I have the camera off and I have a laptop. What the fuck?
Well, as long as we don't hear any splashing, we're good.
I was going to say, it's very quiet pooping.
Thank you for turning off your camera.
I don't need to hear the Cosby Kids playing in the pool.
I don't know about y'all, but my poops are usually pretty silent. I don't know what kind of shit y'all are taking where it's splashing and groaning and fuck.
I tend to hulk out when I poop.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps you're not pooping into a toilet. Are you pooping into a hole in the woods?
I shit you not. Last week I literally had to hold Lenny's hand via text message to walk him through his poop.
No, this is actually something that happened. He's like, he sends me a text message. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, I'm taking a pretty horrific crap right now.
Like,
and he's like, are you gonna be okay? And I'm like, I'm not sure.
So I literally had to sit and walk him through whatever was going on in his bathroom. Look at that. We're talking about
Camels do. Camels walk when they crap too.
That actually happened to me when I go to South America and visit my family. For some reason, I get really fucking constipated. I swear to God, one time I thought I shit sideways. So goddamn bad.
Anywho,
So anywho, we do have a female in the room.
You know what? Don't talk about Douglas like that. Come on.
Oh, hey, his name is Snarf, number one. Number two. Number two.
No pun intended.
Jeez. Wow, this jumped off the cliff so fast.
Yeah, you were doing so well. We were talking about 9/11. We were talking about military experience. We had the cunt of the week. We had the marijuana minute. We said some nice things about other YouTubers, and then we just went to shit.
Was I the cunt of the week?
I take responsibility. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just think y'all managed to be as responsible and respectable for just as long as you could manage before just exploding.
We held it in for as long as we could.
Oh,
You're not nearly contentious enough to be cunt of the week, sir. You wish you could be cunt of the week. You wish.
Yeah. You really have to
Looks like I
earn
have
cunt
to
of the
try
week.
harder then.
Yeah, you have to earn it, man. I don't just give it to anybody. It's not so. I don't just hand it out to my friends. You know what I'm saying? You have to want it.
Wait a second. Wasn't I the cunt of the week?
Are you really saying you're not a cunt? Are you gonna sit there and look me in the eye and tell me you're not a cunt?
I've been fucking with him for a week and I don't manage to get cunt of the week, so it must be a preferred title.
Yeah, I guess it must be. I wear that with a badge of honor, sir. Right
Hey, 13, it's gonna be a long season, big boy.
Check the sidebar.
Lots to come.
Yeah, look at the sidebar, punk.
Yeah.
With all the defending of slavery from him. Oh. Okay.
I actually quite like that. Why don't you post that?
Because it's a little over the top, don't you think?
No, I actually think it's right on time.
Right on time. Earn my fucking un-American person of the year.
Yeah, we should. Oh yeah, we should have a cunt of the year.
Saying being in the military is like slavery, or is slavery.
Yeah, but cunt of the year should come in January.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it should be selected from the previous cunts of the week.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Yeah. We'll send them something.
We will send them
cunt of the week. Give us your information.
We'll send them a douche. It'll just
be a Ziploc bag filled with vinegar.
Can I nominate my one of my exes for that, please?
Is she on YouTube?
I would love to send her a douche.
Oh, you know what? Galaxy Dream just asked a great question. Hi, Galaxy. Have you ever read a book or watched a movie that totally changed your world? Yes. It was called Transformers, and how painfully bad something can be, yet still make a disgusting amount of money.
Yeah.
Prometheus was that for me. I was like, wow, how can a movie so shitty and so pretentious be thought to be deep by so many fucking retards?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was so awful. I mean, it wasn't the greatest film I've ever seen. It was certainly an interesting sci-fi flick. It had a lot of writing problems, more than I've ever seen in a long time. Like, just straight up, just writing issues. Like, what the fuck was anyone thinking?
Yeah, I know what that is.
One of the main writer for Prometheus was one of the main writers for Lost, and that explains all the unanswered questions and trying to be deep.
Hang on a second.
Failing at it.
I've never seen Transformers,
Just 1 second. Lenny, did you just say it wasn't bad, but it has more writing problems than you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, yeah, it had a certain entertainment value.
Really coexist in the same statement.
Absolutely. Well, Charlize Theron was in it, which was part of the saving grace. She also brought her boobs with her, which was important to the success of the film. And it had like sort of an interesting the concept of origins and stuff like that, and these engineers.
Some of the worst old man makeup I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that was terrible.
It was a great that looked like fucking Saturday morning afternoon shit. It was a great concept. It was brought together.
What was the point?
Shut your whore mouth. Shut your whore mouth. It was brought together.
Look at that. Look at that. Muted.
Look at that. It was a very good concept, a very good idea that was formulated very, very poorly. There, I said it. Go ahead, Bob.
It was a far better movie than After Earth. That movie was written by 9-year-olds.
You mean M. Night Shyamalan?
It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. That's not saying much.
You know what? Both of those movies were better than any one of the 3 Transformers movies.
Well, actually, in terms of Prometheus, I think the moral of the story is if there's a giant cheese whale chasing after you,
you run to the side. You run to the side, not run in a straight line, you dumbasses. Fuck.
Well, the thing that weirded me out was, what was the fucking point of having Guy Pearce in the old man makeup when they never showed him as like a young man? I mean, it would kind of make sense if they were gonna have like a flashback to him younger, and maybe that's in a deleted scene or something. But just get an old guy, to play an old guy.
I'm sure James Cromwell wasn't working that day. I mean, he could have done it. He's usually the go-to old guy these days.
Just fucking anybody, really. Just why the fuck Guy Pearce in old man makeup?
Right, and why do there need to be an old man at all? Why not just have Guy Pearce?
And some people argued with me that, like, well, they did it because, to sell tickets. I'm like, he wasn't even advertised as being in the movie. I was just watching. I'm like, oh, it's Guy Pearce in really, really bad old man makeup. What the fuck is he doing here?
And I have never, ever deliberately gone to a film, gone to the moving pictures, to see Guy Pearce. Like, I don't look in the paper like, oh, there's a Guy Pearce movie, I must go see it.
Oh man, Guy Pearce is in Iron Man 3. Fuck yeah! I was kind of on the fence about seeing it, but now I'm totally.
That's what makes or breaks it right there. Guy Pearce.
Absolutely, Guy Pearce was the defining factor.
All right.
No, it was. I liked the idea with the engineers though, and I liked watching the vagina monster.
Yeah, that couldn't be any less symbolic of vagina. Like, I would have fucked it.
I mean, yeah, that's it. Lenny just wanted the giant vagina on screen.
It would probably be the only vagina that could, support my massive girth. So.
Oh God, fuck! I'm muting this guy again. LaFade. God damn.
We're trying to be good here, man. But
I know, God, and I'm pretty sure he's an atheist. So for the Christian trolls who wanted to troll this Richard Raspberry, look at that. We're muting our own people here.
We love LaFayette on this show because he's one of the YouTube classics. I absolutely love his stuff.
Wait, I'm considered classic? Are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah. You're the old guard, man.
I'm 20 fucking 2.
Old guard.
You know what else you are? You're muted.
Stop it! Stop muting him.
You do know that I mute myself after every statement because I don't want there to be feedback. So
hey, you know what? You can shut up, and people who are watching will just see you muted and think that I did it. All right? So there.
We love LaFayette. We love you. We're only messing with you.
I know.
I know you are. I'm just playing along.
Anyways, that vagina monster. My dick has been in worse.
Yeah.
Most people would not admit to that.
I do. I have no shame. My dick has been in weirder things. I mean. I'll bring it back to Shanna.
No, Shannon.
My mom. Don't talk about your dick being in weird things and then say my mom's name. She's Shannon.
Well, what's strange to me is he says my dick has been in strange things, and I immediately find myself looking at all the stuff in his background, wondering what he's drilled holes in.
I was gonna say my dick has been in some weird things, like a garbage disposal.
Oh my God.
And a French person.
Okay, so here is a head crab from Half-Life. All right. Oh, look at that. Nice plush. A hole right here. Oh man, I might have to leave soon. Look at that. It even has like a little reservoir in the back too.
There's no shame in that.
No, there is.
Shame in all.
There we go.
Leave in the comment section the things around the house you fucked.
Well, who hasn't gotten really stoned and looked at their bong and said, I wonder?
I've been really drunk and done that with a carved pumpkin at Halloween.
I've never wondered about my bong.
You know, that'll be the question for next week. What is the weirdest thing you put your dick in?
I've never put my dick in anything.
An Australian girl.
Yeah, all the
Oh man, stab right there.
Get the daggers.
Not gonna lie, she was probably the freakiest girl I've ever fucked. So actually, I'm not complaining, but
absolutely. All right, so time for a little bit of shameless promotion, which is something that we like to do on the Awesome Crew Show.
All right, let's shamelessly promote something.
Let's shamelessly promote something. Yesterday on a Not the Awesome Crew Show hangout that I hosted, because I didn't want you guys to self-harm because of the frustration of not getting to see the Awesome Crew Show.
Oh, and hold on, Lenny, I gotta say, in my absence, you did a deplorable job, because what you did was you invited a bunch of strangers into the hangout, and which led to accusations of cyberbullying from Richard Raspberry. So you are no longer allowed to host the Not Awesome Crew Show, Lenny. You've been demoted. I'm sorry.
I really don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to shamelessly self-promote, and then I'm going to deal with your ass. We had the Phantom Lion on our show, and it's important to note that here on the Awesome Crew Show, we like to help our friends. And anyone who watches our show who's not here to troll, we consider friends, and you're always welcome to join us and talk about stuff. And Phantom Lion is a guy I've known for a little while. He's been on our show a couple of times in the past. And I actually do think he's a relatively decent guy for what I know about him. He seems like a good human being, and
He's a great guy.
He's in a tight spot. You know what I'm saying? Given the history of stuff that we have promoted on the show, I would understand if there's a tentative nature about asking for something. But bear in mind, what he's asking for is not your money. What he's asking for is your work. Money for work. That's what we kind of all do in our lives, and he's not. And that's all he wants is some paid work to help support himself. So I'm going to leave in the comment section of this video a site where you can contact Phantom Lion, and he's a fabulous artist. I've been to his website. I've seen a lot of his work. It's stunning stuff. Maybe you'd like a portrait done. Maybe you'd like something personal done. Maybe you're in an industry or you want to set up something where you need something done professionally. He's very timely, excuse me, and he does work very, very hard, and he takes what he does very, very seriously. So that is why I'm willing to, for whatever it's worth, put my name to him and say I would be happy to have him do some work for me, and I would encourage you, even if it's just for vanity's sake, to have him do some work for you as well. So please support him. He does need your help, and by help I mean he just wants.
He wants to work. He just wants work.
If he can paint my apartment.
You paint your own apartment, you lazy sod.
Way to be a dick, Sheik.
Yeah,
way to be a dick.
Incidentally, just for those that may be dyslexic in the audience, we're talking about Phantom Loin.
Phantom Loin.
If you're dyslexic, yeah.
Oh, sure.
All right, so.
Phantom Loin.
So with that said, I think this is a good stopping point. Please like our Facebook page. It's growing. It's getting awesome.
Stopping point? Wait a second.
What?
The stopping point should have been the moment you let him in.
Easy there, G-Man Jr. With that said, please feel free to like our...
That was unnecessary. I don't appreciate that. That's Mr. G-Man Jr., thank you.
Okay. Oh, man. So, with that said, like our Facebook page. Congrats to Harry Alexander for winning last week's competition. Please feel free to participate. We want you guys to participate. It's one of the few things that separates us from everyone else. Is we want to be interactive with our people who watch, our viewers, regardless of what they are. Please have fun with it. I will also link Phantom Lion's DeviantArt page on the Facebook page. It has been linked in the chat. That's about it, Lenny. The Naked After Show is going to be in like maybe 15 minutes, which is open mic. With that said, yeah, Bobby, Lenny, we all good here?
I'm good to go. Yeah.
Cool.
Just want to love you.
All right, so Dougie, thanks for being our guest today. I'm sorry, Mr. Snarf, everyone else. Fuck this shaky back and forth crap. My God, that's aggravating. I'm going to go and poop, and that's it. Stay tuned next week.
Take a